Greetings. I'm Elder Blacklight. I lost 24/7. Think on this. If someone can control the microcosms of your thoughts, they can control the macrocosm of your actions. The circumference of your thoughts controls the circumference and the mobility of how you move. Someone controls the knowledge and information, controls your imagination. You see, Trump and the Pope. See, the trouble with most of our people is we underestimate each other. We underestimate others. You know, what we see up in the White House, you know, and when we look into the actions of the political arena, we underestimate what's happening. Now, I'm focusing on the Vatican and the books that it receives or that it has, and how expensive some of those books can be. Black people, they say if you are a black man, you want to keep something from a black man, put it in a book. If they want to keep a book from the black man, put it in the Vatican. He can't afford to even open the book. Some of the books be costing 34 million, probably on the low end. On the high end, probably is no price that you could put on it except with your life. Now, we're going to go into just a glimpse of where I'm coming from about when we argue with each other, have debate, and where do we get our information or our knowledge from? You know, what does our knowledge come from? Brother wrote a book called The Miseducation of the Negro. But check this out though.
The Vatican's secret archives have captured people's imagination for centuries, not just on account of their particular history, but also as a result of the stories and conspiracy theories that have been dedicated to them in film and literature alike. The publisher was given the unique opportunity to create a book about the Vatican archives, and for this he was granted access to rooms that have never been seen by outsiders before. These are the reading rooms of the Vatican archives. Every year, some 1,500 scientists from all over the world come here to do research. But
A place few people have seen firsthand.
There's about 2 million printed books.
2 million printed books. The Vatican Library, a vast collection of historic treasures beyond compare.
Feito Episcopo.
The library's most valued documents go back almost 2,000 years, nearly to the time of St. Peter.
The name of God there.
And from the same period, the Gospel of Luke, and part of the Gospel of John.
In the beginning, it was the Word, and the Word was God.
The top 10 most expensive books in the world. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hey there, Aluxers, welcome back to our channel. We have something a little bit different for you today. A mix of culture, money, and some world records. You guessed it, we're talking about the most expensive books that have ever existed. And no, it's not 50 Shades of Grey or the Bible. For a book to be worth several millions of dollars, it needs to be written by a famous author, have a controversial or highly important subject, and be a few hundred years old. Just like wine, books get better and more expensive with age, and a few of the first copies of some of the most famous books are still among us. Of course, we can't pinpoint on just one book that is the most important or relevant, because there are so many. However, there are a few manuscripts that shaped our modern world and are now worth quite a lot of money, and can be found in the biggest and most important libraries. Rowling, The Tales of Beedle the Bard, $3.98 million. First on our list is probably one of the most famous female writers in history, J.K. Rowling. She's one of the first authors to become a billionaire, and her beloved Harry Potter series are the best-selling series of all time. Yes, she's full of world records and inspiration. The Tales of Beedle the Bard is a children's book that is also mentioned in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the last book of the Harry Potter series.
Now, we're just at the tip of the iceberg as far as what I want to convey to my subscribers, how deep a level that I be thinking. You know, you gotta go to the root of any subject matter or any history you're trying to uncover about yourself, about your enemies. And what we don't seem to understand is that when Sinetta and young Pharaoh, when they talk about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this kind of thinking, the debating what they are engaged in at this present moment, that kind of thinking didn't occur until the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was enlightened by Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. There arose out of that Malcolm, and at the time of when I was a young teenager, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, white people started off hating him. They ended up loving him. Malcolm X, they started off hating him, ended up loving him. It was a hate-love relationship. They respect the man because the man had knowledge that didn't know other so-called Negroes had at that particular time. And who did he get it from? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, there's a war on Islam because Islam is the real deal. And I ain't talking about the way the Arabs, so-called Middle Easterners, trying to give it to you. The real deal when Master Farad came with it and gave it to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Excuse me. So as we go into 2020, which is a couple of days from now, more than a couple of days, maybe 4 days, I'm going to be trying to put something on your mind for you to think about, so you won't be suckers. One brother, I think I heard young Pharaoh say, if you love your people too much, you might be a fool for them. All the while he's getting money from them. Everybody's buying into his program, and he hasn't done half the things. He haven't even done half the things that Yahweh Elijah Muhammad gave back to his people. Only thing he's doing is accusing and misusing the little bit of knowledge that he's got. Is a dangerous thing to some people. So this is first. Think about it. And catch this vibe if you ain't caught it yet.